We'll start our Wednesday's live today. Yeah, today I just wanted to talk about this thing. People have, I mean, obviously, which is, it's normal because people who have not made a start in rent to rent yet. It's just this COVID lockdown, how this affected us. So I thought I'm going to share my experience, with regards to HMOs and how we worked around it and what was our take on it, because many people the concern as well at the same time that okay, we want to start this lucrative strategy, but is it really possible to do it through COVID? Or now it's the Christmas time, letting agencies, they are closing now for and then are going to reopen, and not many people will want to move into a new property. So is it really right time to start your rent to rent business? So from my experience, what I would say that okay, rent to rent always works. It works throughout the whole year, especially rent to rent HMO strategy. And that's why I say if it is your first strategy, then you're all right. Start with rent to rent HMO strategy rather than rent to rent SA. And that's exactly I've been saying here in this group as well, that if you are, if rent to rent as service accommodation, is that something you looking to do, then the way situation is, it's too risky, because if you're going to commit yourself for 3 to 5 years, then just in case if we go into another lockdown, then you really need to think about your plan B. And if it is a smaller property that you've taken in order to run it as an SA service accommodation, then in that case, if there is a lockdown, and you can't really use it as a multi-let, because it's not big enough, a big enough property which will give you enough lucrative income, or to cover all the expenses and rent and everything. So yeah, so I mean, for that reason, I've always said it, since we came out of this lockdown, I've been saying it, don't use rent to rent SA service accommodation as your first strategy, because if you've got limited cash and you want to start into property with rent to rent, go with rent to rent HMO, because it's stable, it's more reliable, and you're going to get, at least that there is going to be steady income. People always need to live somewhere. And even, I mean, from our own experience as well, what we found was, even through this lockdown period, people still wanted to live somewhere. There was never the case where we had empty rooms, or we never had problem finding our tenants, because like I said, people always need somewhere. And whether it's Christmas or not Christmas, COVID or no COVID, people always need somewhere. So definitely demand is there. If you are looking, I would still say, I would still insist, this is the time to start, because this is the time when you will find that, large property owners, landlord, they start panicking, because they feel they can't rent the whole property easily. So they will be more willing for company let, or they will be more willing to give it for rent to rent, because then in that way they know at least they're going to get their guaranteed rent, and they don't need to worry about their bills. We are happy because we know that we're not going to rent that property out as a whole. We will rent rooms in that property. We will use it as a multi-let. We will use a different strategy. So it works for us, it works for the landlord, and it works for people who are looking to move in, because not everybody earns enough to rent a whole property. And even if they rent a flat or a house, then they need to pay bills on top, whereas if they are renting from us, then all the bills are included, so it's less headache for them, it's more affordable. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. Guys, I can see there are people watching. If you could say hello, then it would be good. Otherwise, uh, I will just give whatever information I'm giving, and there is nothing really, you should take advantage. If I'm there, just ask questions. It'll be really good to have that interaction. So don't be shy. Say hello to me, so I know you guys are watching, and make it interactive. So it will be great. Yep. So basically, I mean, that's my take on it, you know. And throughout the COVID, we never had any issues filling our rooms because we were allowed to do viewings, we were allowed to do, move people out, move people in. So that was fine. The only thing was slightly different was that if we wanted to give, notice, issue a notice to any of our tenants, then, we had to allow more time because normally notice period is 2 months, but it increased to 4 months and then 6 months. So we went through that phase, but luckily, we didn't have that much difficulty with it because obviously even if your tenants, they lose job, but still, they straight away they go on benefit. So you just had to work with it because we had never faced. And I think this time if we're going into lockdown, or if it that happens, we will be in better position because we know, we've dealt with it already. Whereas with the service accommodation, I've always said, that with service accommodation, you don't have plan B. This exactly thing happened to us. When we took our essays, they were just before, about 6 months before the lockdowns, before that lockdown happened in 2020. And we didn't have plan B. We had done really nicely our properties, and and because we never knew what was coming at that time. Nobody actually knew. And when we started, our business, then it was doing well, it was doing really good. But then after lockdown, uh, there were restrictions on traveling and all that, and for that reason we had to reduce our nightly rate substantially, and we ended up making loss in that. But our saving grace was that we had other HMO properties and other properties, so we were still making money from it. So that really helped us. uh, but yeah, guys, if you have any question, do ask me. I'm happy to answer any question regarding this strategy. And what's your take on, how are you guys finding demand during this period? I mean, as if anybody is doing rent to rent already, what's your take on it? People normally think that around this time there is no much demand, people don't want to move, but that's not the case. If anything, what we are finding that there is so much demand there, where there aren't enough rooms available. So you can actually cherry pick your tenants, you can be selective, you can actually, you can have your set criteria, and you can only let those people in the property or allow them to move in. If people who have, all the documents and everything in place. So definitely I would say, um, this this is this is not going to be the issue. Definitely finding tenant is never the issue. And once you have your tenants, they will be there in the property for 3 months, 6 months, or sometimes they are on a rolling contract. So if they really like that property, they're going to stay there for long term. So you have that constant income coming in. There is no evil, so 100% I would say, it's a safer strategy. Guys, if you have any question regarding rent to rent or anything, feel free to ask. I can see there are a few people watching. If you say hello, then it's better. Um, it just makes it more interesting for me as well. Let me just check if I am live. Am I live here? Can you just say hello so I know that I'm going live? Yeah. Hi, Nishat. Hi. Yeah. How are you? How was your day? Any question, do ask me, because I'm here, I'm live. So ask me any question that you have regarding this COVID. If are you worried about this COVID that's happening at the moment, the new variant, that is out and bugging people, and people are catching COVID now at very, very fast pace. But and we are, there is a good possibility that we may be heading into another lockdown, which we don't know for sure, but it can happen. So we don't really have all the answers. But guys, if you have any questions, do ask me, because this is the time when, you can actually go out and you can look for properties, you can actually look for bargains as well, because this is the time when normally landlords would be happy to reduce rent as well on their property. So it's a good time actually for you to pick properties where you will find that numbers work, and you can make some profit on it, and you can take that headache away from the landlord. So in that way, it's less hassle for the landlord, and it's less hassle for, for, well, it's better for you as well, because if you are looking to start your strategy, then obviously this will be your opportunity. Like I think I said it in my last live as well, that this is the time, this was the time actually when I started my rent to rent business. Took my properties in November, December, January, February, March. These were the heavy months where I picked some really solid, really good bargain properties, because if landlords struggle to rent, they will be happy to give it to you. Even if it means that you're getting few initial months with reduced rent, it's good for you, because you can then recover your money much faster as well. So definitely I would say, yeah, you're saying that you're seeing same properties on Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. For that you need to, because the problem is, if you are in London, it'll be same properties, but you need to check on different platforms have different properties, Nishat. So if you check if you check on other platforms, different websites, I'm going to give you some tips on that, Nishat. So yeah, feel free to private message me. I'm happy to have a long chat with you about it. But yeah, definitely, you will be lucky, because I'm going to give you some tips. So yeah, if you arrange a chat with me, I can go through it with you a bit more in depth. But yeah, definitely there are websites I'm finding, um, and there are properties available. There are HMOs as well. Lot of properties are available, but don't just check in on Gumtree, and don't just check on Facebook Marketplace, because that's where everybody else is looking. There are many other places where you can look for properties. So 100% you'll find them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Feel free to message me. Yeah, I'm happy to have a chat with you. Let's arrange a chat, and then I will give you some tips and hints where to find them. But definitely properties are there. Do not lose your momentum as well, Nishat. Because like I said, this is the time when you can pick, where other people, they're busy. I'm not saying don't enjoy this festive period, but you need to still, if you are really thinking of starting this rent to rent, then yeah, definitely I would say, don't lose the momentum, because this is the time when you will find properties, because not everybody will notice, but you will notice them, and you will find them, and you will, then this is your opportunity to make a start, and all you need is just that one property that will build your credibility 100%. Because that one property will teach you so much about this whole strategy. You're going to learn so much about it, everything, because it's okay to, I mean, do courses or read about it or learn about different aspects of it. But when you start doing it, then things sink in much better. I personally learn things much better by doing them, by because once you start doing things, then start dealing with tenants, then going forward you just become wiser, and what you're doing with it. So definitely 100% I would say, uh, it will be it will get easier. It's just the first property that you need, but I'm happy to give you some links for different websites, and I can give you some keywords as well. So guys, if anybody in the group who has just joined the group recently, and if you would like me to give you a copy of the keywords, which I share with my own mentees, but I'm happy to give to people as a welcome gift in this group. Feel free to reach out, drop me a PM, so I will give you a link for it. So those keywords are very, very useful because they will help you to find right type of properties, because you need to understand and you need to know what type of properties will work for this rent to rent, and you need to know how to find those properties. So those keywords will be very, very useful for you. Yeah, 100%. Any other question? Yes, guys, if you have any question, do ask me. Otherwise, have a lovely Christmas. If you don't have any question, then that's absolutely fine. I think people are in festive mood today. So, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Reach out. If you have any question, I'm happy to answer them now. Otherwise, I will be going, and have a lovely, lovely Christmas and have a very happy new year. And I will see you after the new year. And I'm going to do a mastermind group in this group. Actually, I'll do 5 days mastermind. And if you guys are interested, do message me below. So I will tag you, I will link you, I will send you the link for it so you don't miss it, because I'll be sharing some really useful tips for you, which will be very, very handy, for you guys. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, speak to you soon, Nishat. Take care then. Bye bye.